Hello everyone, welcome to Artsy Smartsy. I'm Tina and today we are going to make a cute fall pumpkin. And within 6 steps you'll be able to do this so easily. And I have all the steps in order here. I'm going to show you step by step. After each step you can pause the video and paint at your leisure, and then start the video again when you're ready to do the next portion. First, in your kit, you should have a large canvas, a small canvas. You should have some green, orange, brown, and light brown or tan paint. It could come in a like that, or it might come in 2 small ones, but as long as you have 4 paints, you're good. You should also have, I have a variety of flowers, either colored or yellow, and I also put in some gems sometimes, so you can add those at the end. One thing I did not include was duct tape. It was so hard to include just a small piece. You're only going to need enough to cover the back of your long strip once we get to the hair. You could also use hot glue to do that, but I find that it sits flatter if you use just one piece of duct tape. We will use hot glue later to attach the flower and to attach the brim of the hat to the actual canvas. So if you have any kind of glue along with hot glue, that would work out great. Also, if you wanted to be able to continue to paint quickly, then a hairdryer would be great because then you can dry in between steps. So let's go ahead and start. Part 1, you have these 2 canvases here, and we're going to start with our dark brown paint. And I've found that it's easier. The only things that are going to be brown, or sometimes I send out kind of a burgundy red, are, as you can see, this is going to be glued right here, and that's going to be his hat. So his hat needs to be brown, and this rim needs to be brown. But make sure you do not paint these 2 squares, because eventually those are going to be green and orange. So what I like to do, I like to cheat. I like to go in with my brush. I like to paint really carefully around the black lines, all the way around. And once I do the hard part, take a break, and then continue to paint the entire board, okay? Now, this is just 1 layer of paint, and you can see the difference between 1 layer and 2 layers of paint. See how streaky it is? That's normal. It's not because you're a bad painter. It's just how it is. So put 1 layer on, and then after you do the 2nd layer, it's going to be nice and smooth and very even and look really nice. So don't get frustrated if it doesn't look perfect after your 1st layer. You're also going to want to be painting that top area here. Use that trick again though, where you're going really carefully around these little lines. They're pretty small and they're pretty detailed. So go in here and be very, very careful all the way around. Now, I'll tell you a secret. If you go over the black line by accident tomorrow, but wait 24 hours, you can go back over it with a black, I only have a pink, but a black Sharpie marker tomorrow. And it will make the lines look really nice. Don't worry if you accidentally go over this line just a little bit, because remember, this is not going to go on that line. It's going to go over that line. So it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so step 1, take your 2 plain boards, paint the rim and the top of the hat. So at the end of step 1, you're going to have this, and you're going to have this, okay? You can pause me and come back as soon as you're ready, okay? See you soon. Okay, if you're back now, this is what you should have. Brown, white square. All brown, white square. Next, we're going to add the face color, which is kind of an orangey tan. So, or a light brown. So again, we're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to go around and you're going to outline with your paint very carefully all of these shapes before you paint in all of this. And look at how many times I accidentally went over the Sharpie lines. That's okay, because tomorrow, don't do it sooner than tomorrow because it'll wreck your marker. Tomorrow you can go back in. Remember, this is the final. And you can re-Sharpie those lines so that all those nice little details come back out and you see everything nice and solid. Okay, so you're just going in and painting the face now. So you can go ahead and pause. And when you come back, everything should be outlined and then all of the face should be totally filled in. Okay, I will see you in a second. Okay, guys, if you are back now, you now have a brown hat, a brown top, a cream face, but you don't have any of the greens and oranges that are shown on this guy right here. So what you're gonna do next is get out your orange paint and you are going to paint his nose. Let's look at this one for a second. You're gonna paint his nose and you're gonna paint this square right up here. Just those two pieces. The square on the top and his nose on the main canvas. That's gonna go really, really, really quick. So once you're done with orange, then you're gonna go and paint his two cheeks, his two little square cheeks, and then you're gonna paint the square that's on this wooden board, okay? This right here is green. So his two cheeks and this little board are green, okay? Once you have all that, you're gonna be all painted up. It's gonna look really cool. We need to add the hair onto the brown board, okay? Because your brown board already has cream color, brown, green, orange, okay? Now we need to add this hair. Now, I do this lesson in lots of different ways, and sometimes I send hair that's made out of raffia, which is just straight paper. I crunch it up to make it look crinkly. But when it comes to you, it's gonna be straight, so it'll be easier to tape on. Or I might have been feeling super sassy, and I may have put in a whole bunch of straw, like this. So straw is what actually would be in a scarecrow, what they actually really fill a scarecrow with. And, but it doesn't lay flat. It's really kind of crazy, but it looks cooler, I think. So depending on your personality, you're either gonna love me or hate me if you get straw. But what you wanna do is you wanna start gathering probably six or seven pieces. I sent you a lot more than you need. Don't feel like you have to use it all. Gather 6 or 7 pieces. You're gonna line them up like this. And you are going to not line them all the way across, just line them up kind of 2 fingers away, let's say. 2 fingers away. Line them up right there. And then once you have them laid down, put a piece of duct tape there. I did it all in one. And then go to the other side, 2 fingers wide, and then start laying your other ones on this side. Now, don't lay them all the way across. Make sure you leave a gap because his hair is supposed to go on either side of his eyes, nose, mouth. You don't want his hair all the way across, if that makes any sense. So go ahead and glue your hair in, or tape your hair down. Now, if you have hot glue, you can glue it, but it doesn't lay as flat if you do that. So I like to tape the hair down, and then I like to do a line of hot glue there, and then glue it on top of the head. Okay. So again, you want his hair, leave about 2 fingers length, and then glue his hair in. It's going to be, if you have straw, it's going to be all over. It'll be cool. 2 finger length, and then glue it in. Make sure you have it clear here down in front of his eyes and nose. And then tape that on, and then hot glue this on. And then the only thing you're going to have left to do is you'll have a little teeny tiny bag with a flower in it. It might be a colorful flower. It might be a yellow flower. It also might have gems, so you could put gems in the center of the flower, or maybe you put gems on the patch here. Whatever you want to do or not use, maybe you don't want to use it, you don't have to. Go ahead and do that for your final step. And then once you have everything and it looks like this, you can come back and I'm going to talk about hanging. Okay, welcome back. One thing that we can all do with our extra straw, or maybe you have ribbon, or maybe you have one of those special, you know, you get them from the store and they'll hang anything on a wall. You can use that. But since you have hot glue or duct tape, you can actually turn your little guy over and do exactly what you did for the hair. Line up the little hairs here, and then stick a piece of duct tape over it. And come all the way around, make a handle like this, and cut it way down here. So you have all of this space right in there to put duct tape over the top. And then press it down really, really good. You can do it in hot glue, that'll stay better. And then duct tape over the top, just to make sure you have double structure on there to make sure it doesn't fall. But then he'll look really cute. He'll have a little handle from the front that'll match his hair. And you can hang him on your front door for the holidays. So thank you so much for coming. I hope your scarecrow is as cute as mine. Make sure you put his name on the back and have fun. Maybe teach your friends, your kids, your grandkids how to do it, and maybe they'll do it with you. And I hope you have a great holiday and a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. See you next month. Bye now.